waited on.
There's a budget.
You need a packet. You need a packet.
Yes, sir.
All right. This was a fast week.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My Jason Stewart, who leads the prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today, Lord. We thank you for keeping your hand upon us, Lord, during all this weather we've had around. God, we ask that you would keep your hand upon this council as leaders for the city. We ask, Lord, that you continue to watch over our police, our fire, our safety, our soldiers abroad, God, and we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. I'll call the meeting to order by asking Ms. Toddy for a roll call, please.
Brett Parker. Here. Bonnie Winkle here. Kara Rose here. Tammy Slinker here. Jerry Bradley. Jason Stewart.
Here.
Linda Smith here. Hazel Riley. Donnie England.
Here.
Cindy Wood here.
We have a form and a copy of the minutes in your packet from the June meeting. Give you a second to look over those. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Jerry Bradley made a motion to approve.
Second.
Cindy Wood, second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Minutes will stand approved as read. And financial reports also in your packet. And I'll give you a minute to read it, and then entertain a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve.
Jason Stewart made a motion to approve.
Second.
Linda Smith, second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Financial report stand approved. Department reports. Chief Redmond.
Police Department had a great month this month, made a lot of arrests, and a lot of tickets. We did have a good month this month. A couple of rookies got out of training, so they'll be out on their own. That's always good to have extra patrol out on the street. I do have an announcement for tomorrow and Thursday. The Arkansas State Police SWAT team is going to be in town on the Christie Street area training. There's 28 of them, with 28 state police cars. So I would imagine some of your constituents are probably going to be like, what is going on in town? What they try to do, they come in and they actually talk to the immediate neighbors to make sure that they know, hey, nothing's going on. But if you do get phone calls about that, we're happy to have them here in town. They are a resource for us anytime we would need some barricade or any equipment, close breaching equipment or anything like that. They are available to us all the time, so we appreciate them choosing Trumann to come train a little bit. So they will be in town tomorrow and Thursday. I'm not sure how much Thursday. They may be on the range on Thursday, but definitely in the Christie Street area tomorrow. So just want to make that happen. Thank you.
Do I have any questions, Chief Redmond? Chief Kemper.
Real quick, we just had some training coming up for the school district. We do every year, CPR and stop the lead training. It's a big event we do. I think it's going to be around 40 employees. And then hopefully we don't have to put any house fires out tomorrow when they blow the doors off these houses. No, it's going to be great training. I was excited about it because usually fire departments use these abandoned houses to do trainings on, like training exercises on, breaking doors and stuff. We just don't get to blow them off, so I'm kind of jealous of them, to be honest. That's it.
questions for Chief Counsel. Ms. Fagan?
Well, we will get to clean up the mess after. So, and as I understand, fairly quickly, it puts a rush on getting the condemned house torn down, so that works out all right. Other than that, I don't have anything unless are you going to make the announcement of what we've received today in your mayor's report? Okay. I will not say any more of this. I will answer any questions or if anybody's got anything. Okay.
Committee reports. I know the Finance Committee met, Education Committee met. Jason, you want to talk about those or just till we bring them up?
No, we'll bring them up to me.
Ward reports.
I just want to say in my ward, I think that's for things to be going on. One of my people wanted to know, and I asked Gary and Ed, and really I'm really talking about lawns. And that overgrowing and they did a good job for that so far.
But that's the way all this year that's happened. Isn't it? And I have had problems all the time.
Ed's been doing a really good job. All right, new business. First on the agenda is budget reconciliation. You have a resolution there in front of you, number 1254/2024, that wasn't included in your packet. That was I don't know, hindsight or whatever. I was getting the packets ready and didn't.
Is it on that?
Did you not land five in it?
No, I have the,
Should
I
be
have
bus
the
route.
route.
There's something there on the table. I didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking about it, going on in several meetings the last few days. I didn't realize we had to do a resolution for the budget reconciliation until like 4 o'clock. And I called Mr. Gazaway and he said, probably need to do that. So I got the resolution put together, and it's still on the agenda. The budget reconciliation is still on the agenda. So we just didn't actually have the resolution. So, first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and ask Ms. Todd if she'll read the resolution.
Resolution number 1254/2024. A resolution amending the budget for the city of Trumann, Arkansas for the 6 months beginning January 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2024, appropriating money for each item on expenditure therein provided for and for other purposes. Section 1, Revenues and Expenditures of Municipal Budget Resolution number 1238-2023 to hereby amend the City of Trumann 2024 budget incorporated herein as if set out word for word and figure for figure, reflecting salaries of all city employees and reflecting revenues and expenditures as set forth on succeeding pages. City of Trumann 2024 budget. General fund revenues, $6,418,141. Appropriations, $5,241,364. General fund 2, $1,375,874. Revenues, appropriations, $1,345,000. Street fund revenues is $1,081,200. Appropriations, $1,030,000. TPD equitable sharing revenues $5,038. Appropriations $5,000. Capital equipment revenues $317,000. Appropriations $295,000. Disaster fund revenues $39,050. Appropriations $36,050. TIDC revenues $815,019. Appropriations, $815,019. Special enforcement, $10,000. Revenues, appropriations, $5,000. Trumann Water, revenues, $2,858,800. Appropriations, $2,822,600. Total is $7 million for the revenues is $7,794,015. Appropriations, $6,586,364. Section 2, all resolutions and parts of resolutions in conflict herein are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Donnie England make a motion to approve, and Jerry Bradley second. Have any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote please. Ms. Toddy?
Brett Parker,
For.
Bonnie Winkles, Tara Roach, Tammy Slinkard, Jerry Bradley, Jason Stewart, Linda Smith, Hazel Riley's absent, Donnie England,
For.
Cindy Wood.
All right, next thing up is, last meeting we heard from Medic One and Southern Paramedics about a contract to provide ambulance service to the city of Trumann, to our citizens. It was tabled to allow you time to research each service. At this time, I'm going to open the council floor for discussion. Anybody else? I guess the next thing is that we want to move forward and vote on a service and then have an ordinance for that service at the next meeting along with the contract. I need a motion in a second, I guess.
I make a motion to study the one.
I need a motion to decide if we're going to vote on this. No, don't work it way.
Well, what are we waiting on?
I need a motion to decide if we're going to vote
Okay, I
on
make a motion.
one of these two.
I make a motion, we decide we're gonna vote on one of these two.
We have a motion. I need a second. Okay, Cindy Wood, second. Any discussion?
How are we gonna vote?
But that's what I'm saying. The motion is that we take a vote
Right.
on which company we want to do a contract with. I guess really, we probably need to,
You want to say?
we probably need to, have a decide if we even want to have a contract with them. I mean, we discussed that. I mean, we talked about it last time, and my point was, is if we don't have a contract with somebody, we're liable to lose everything.
Right.
And that's my concern. And my concern is we need to take care of our citizens by having an ambulance service that we know is going to be here. I think that both of these services are good services. I don't think we can be wrong with either one of them. I mean, I kind of think that's what we put this on the floor for, on the table, so that we research and make a decision and decide who we want at this meeting.
Mayor?
vote on that motion. They decide, she decides to rescind the motion. The motion is that we vote either for Southern Paramedic or we vote for Medic One.
The motion is in effect to vote. It's not to vote for one or the other. It's just the fact that we're going to vote to decide.
Okay, that's what I was hoping.
Yes.
That wasn't what I understood the motion to be. So
That's what I understood that was necessary for the motion. But we need to decide if we're going to vote or not. And then once we decide we're going to vote, then we decide which carrier we're going to use, right?
that's your motion.
Yes.
Jerry, Ms. Bradley's motion is that we decide, vote, whether we're going to vote on one of those two tonight or not. That clear as mud. We have that motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
Yeah, I mean, so, forgive me for playing devil's advocate here. Both services are great services. Are most services currently working with the city? Reps?
No, just Medic One.
Just medical? Okay. And I'm going to ask another book-like question. You can probably answer John, if you can, for dispatch purposes. I understand there's a lot of calls that happen in the city. And, of course, the reason why we're talking about this is the potential that we don't have enough ambulances, even if one carrier has two sections here, we get to a point where we don't have enough ambulances, we still got to pull somebody in. Is that right?
Sure, yeah, I mean, we could have 10 ambulances here and may not be enough certain times, but yeah, the city of Trumann needs 2 ambulances. I think the call volume shows that now, and I think even both services have studied it, and both services agree that this city has enough call volume and transport volume, because there's a difference, to have 2 ambulances in the city 24 hours a day. So, yeah, I mean, we just like Jonesboro's got 12 or 15 ambulances, and sometimes they don't have enough. And if we had 10, it might not be enough. We've had 6 EMS calls today. And we've had Riverside, Medic One. I think Medic One's been the other 5. Pretty much all of them's transport, but I think we have 1 non-transport. So we're busy. We really do stay busy. But yeah, to answer your question is, we need.
We definitely need 2 actual physical vehicles here.
Yes.
I mean, what would be prohibited for having 2 separate services?
Not enough call volume. 2
What?
separate services.
I thought we just
2 separate services.
okay, so I'm not understanding the call volume.
No.
I think that it's enough call volume to have 2 ambulances from the same service. And I think if you split those calls up between 2 services and 1 ambulance apiece, I think then that's when it's going to be one or the other. I don't know the business side of the EMS because we don't charge. That's a better question for the private EMS personnel that are here. But I think that's kind of the gist of it is 2 ambulances. If one service has 2 ambulances, it justifies it pretty easy because they know they're going to make enough runs to offset the cost if one doesn't run enough. But 2 ambulances having 1 ambulance, 2 services having 1 piece, one of them might not make it. One of them might not get enough calls to stay. If that makes sense.
Where it all started was we were having a third of our calls. The ambulances were having to come from out of town, and that's because they typically just have 1 ambulance in town. And once we started discussing this, and the new owners, and from Medic One and then Southern Paramedic come along, we discussed all of this. They looked at the figures and all, and they agreed. We need 2 ambulances in town. And the discussion then was had 2 services. One of them was not going to make it. Matter of fact, I don't think that they would agree with 2 services now, because they're going to lose call volume, they're going to lose amount of.
I think maybe where people get a little bit confused on this is the contract part of this. Just because the city of Trumann has a contract with one of the ambulance services doesn't mean another ambulance service can't come
Right.
So the contract basically will say that we will call this ambulance service first. And if
And
there's
second
any,
and third, as long as they got ambulances.
as long as they got ambulances in town.
Yes.
That's what the contract is. So don't confuse that as, well, this is a all or nothing type situation where another, once we do get the nursing home here, which will be more BLS calls for us, which is going up pretty quick. So there will be a lot more BLS calls, I believe, when that gets here. And so there may be a lot more calls. And at that point, you might be able to have two ambulance services.
Sure, already, like Mac 1, like I said, we had Riverside was here before, so if they're extended 20, 30 minutes, or they got no ambulances available, they're going to call another service, and both services would do that. That's just morally and ethically the correct thing to do. They're going to do that. So, yeah, if you lock down the one that's service, it's not going to say we're going to get Medic 1 from who knows where, from Mark Tree or wherever. You're still going to get that Trumann truck, but you also might get a Riverside, or you might get an Emerson. You might get some other agency as well. They're not going to just say Medic 1 only or Southern EMS only.
And that was part of the agreement, Medic 1 first said, we want exclusive rights, and I said, no, we're not going to do that. We will give you the rights, whichever one. We'll give you the rights to the first call and the second call if you got an ambulance, the third and the fourth call if you got ambulances here. But once you run out of ambulances, we're going to call the closest ambulance and to get our people taken care of. And that was the whole point of it all together. And I understand on their side of it, and which I don't own an ambulance and never have, but on their side of it, I understand both of them being in Trumann would not be beneficial to them at this point. So, it's one of them needs to be in town, and in the contract would be that they guarantee 2 ambulances in town. The other thing is we know that we can get 3 calls, bam, 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 2 ambulances go out of town, and they may have to send another ambulance this way, or or be prepared to bring another ambulance closer into town. But ultimately, we're not going to get more than 2 ambulances in town from probably any services that we get. I don't see any of them bringing more than 2 ambulances in town station. With the contract, it guarantees us 2 ambulances in town. We don't have to pay them anything. That's not even an issue. It's just, again, they would have 2 ambulances in town. Speaking on both sides, from what they told me, Medic 1 said if both ambulances are gone, they would send another ambulance at least to Bay or to the county line to be on standby in case they got another call. I got a message from some medics is that they said that both of their ambulances would actually be ALS ambulances. Am I correct?
Correct.
So that's a plus on both sides, for both of them. That's a plus for either one of them. As far as, Southern hasn't mentioned anything about whether they bring another ambulance this direction or what. I don't know if they have one available to do that. But regardless, they are going to call the next closest 5 ambulances if it winds up being Southern. So, yes, sir.
Yeah. So we do actually plan to have 4 in the county, would be the plan. Most of the call lines on Trumann, we would be moving towards Trumann for sure. In addition, we have the mutual aid agreements as well. So if Emerson, Delta as well, if we run available, that they would be available to respond for us. And realistically, it was mentioned last month that we're competitors, but realistically, we were sitting here having a good conversation. If they were to call me, I would respond to their calls. I'm sure if we called them, they would respond to ours. We're all partners in all
We all have the same goal.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is what our goal is, taking care of our citizens.
So where will Southern have their ambulances?
So we talked about a building that the mayor has mentioned to us that we can do that.
The old rural water office is available for either one of them. Whichever one of them decided they would be able to least the rural water officer, I think we said $1 a month or $1 a year or something like that. But they would go in and fix it up, clean it up, and, make it presentable for them and livable for them.
I like that, you want to hear the manager.
All
Yeah, and he's listening to the
Anybody else?
So to clarify, the contractors could probably,
Yes. Yes. We don't have any other discussion. I'm going to ask Ms. Toddy for a roll call vote. Once again, this vote is to decide if we want to vote on which ambulance service contract it is.
Fred Parker,
Yes.
Bonnie Winkles. Yes. Kara Rose. Yes. Tammy Slinker. Yes. Jerry Bradley. Yes. Jason Stewart.
yes,
Linda Smith. Yes. Hazel Riley's absent. Donnie England.
Yes.
Cindy Wood. Yes.
Motion passes. So now, do we have to have a motion to vote? We just vote for which one we want.
I think you need a motion, someone needs to make a motion to vote for approve one or to approve another. Be debated and then voted on.
Southern through your contract also.
Now, Southern has actually asked for a 1-year contract, right?
Yeah, with automatic renewals.
It's automatic renewal.
Mayor, and I did have a question. So I guess that they have been here for the council and made a presentation before tonight.
Yeah, the last council.
Yeah, and I wasn't here for that, so. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we need a motion for Med One, we need a motion for Southern, and then vote yes or no.
make a motion for Medic One.
Jerry Bradley's made a motion for Medic One,
Second.
Linda Smith second. Any discussion?
Well, I didn't pull that out of a hat. I interviewed it and spent some time with the problems they've had in the future with and how they fixed them. So I was able to, I liked what I heard.
Anybody else? Ms. Toddy, roll call vote, please. This is voting yes to approve Medic One or no not to approve Medic One.
Brett Parker.
Yes.
Bonnie Winkles. Yes. Kara Rose. Yes. Tammy Slinker. Yes. Jerry Bradley.
Yes.
Jason Stewart.
yes,
Linda Smith. Yes. Hazel Riley absent. Donnie England.
Yes.
Cindy Wood.
Yes.
Motion passes, and Medic One will be the one get the contract. Between now and the next council meeting, they've already turned in the contract. We will have the ordinance drawn up to pass that on the next, have it done by ordinance on the next meeting. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
any other comments? All right, finally, Mayor Paul Keith caught me at the AML meeting, municipal league meeting, summer conference, and he made a proposal when he asked me. He said, "Look, we've got a lot of people in Bay that need to come to Trumann to shop, go to the doctor or what have you. Would y'all be interested in running a route with Trugo in Bay?" Well, let me get back and discuss it with our transportation committee. The transportation committee met last night, which is what wasn't originally on your agenda, and it was put on there. And the Transportation Committee recommended to the council that we provide bus service for one trip to be done on Monday morning at 9 a.m. and they would be returned to Bay at roughly 11:30. Bay would pay for the driver's half-day salary. She would be working a half a day, and Bay would pay for her salary, and she's good with that. The people in Bay, when they get picked up, they would pay $5 to get on the bus in Bay, and 50 cents per ride every time they got on the bus once they were in Trumann, just like our citizens pay. If somebody gets on the bus that did not get on in Bay, if they get on Trumann and want to go to Bay, they have to pay the $5 fee. So there will be a signing sheet, and we'll figure out how to do that, whether have them sign in that Bay or sign in here. But there'll be a signing sheet for them so the driver would know who got on and who didn't get on in Bay. My thing is, this is bringing people to Trumann to spend money and bring revenue to town. It's not, and it's actually going to bring more revenue to the bus because it's, he assured me that he had identified 10 to 15 people that would ride the bus. Another one of the things was that we discussed was that the night before the mayor would designate someone to call the bus driver and let her know if there are any riders or not for that money trip. That way, if it wasn't, she don't have to come to work. She don't have to pay. But if they've got riders, she can go and do the thing. So when we discuss that, and then if you look, you have an agreement that was drawn up. You can look at it. If you have any questions about that, anything that looks like might need to be changed, you guys wait on, you got a chance to read it. It's pretty straightforward. Unless you look at it and read it for a minute, and I'll entertain a motion to approve that we run this one-day bus trip.
Everybody's ready, well, I'm going to make a motion to approve.
Had a motion to approve. Member Smith, second. Any discussion?
Right. Just so everybody knows, the meeting we had last night was supposed to be a 30-minute meeting. And about 2 hours later,
Changed Monday to Tuesday so that people can ride to the food bank, which is one of the things that they've asked for. So this is actually going to kind of help put us in that situation. So I think it's going to pick up. Here's another thing to think about, that if we decide at the end of the year that we don't want to do this anymore, our bus is still in excellent shape. It is. We bought a $65,000 bus for $35,000, $34,000. So we can still sell the bus and make more money than what we paid for it. So it's kind of not good at loss there. But the ultimate thing is we want people in town to ride it. I've heard all across, I've not heard anybody say anything bad about the bus. We need it. We want it. It's great. Great idea. We're just not getting people on the ride. And I'm not sure how we go about doing it.
I think she's working on it because she came down our street, and there's people down there that are always walking the groceries.
Yeah.
And so,
Sandra is definitely working on getting the word out. We put it on the water bill. We have posted it at all the bus stops. We posted the times and everything. We put it on social media. Really, and it's been in the newspaper. It's been on KIT news, and it's been on the KJNB or whatever that the other KNEA, whatever that other news. It's been on both of those multiple times actually. So I really don't know how to get the word out other than what we're doing. We've talked about possibly the mayor's council having those kids to maybe go out and hand out flyers at some point. We've talked about and probably will have at the Wild Duck Festival, have the bus there cleaned up, have it sitting there with Sandra talking to people and telling people about the bus and what we have the routes and all that stuff. So, you know, we're working to get the word out. The numbers are picking up, and so I mean I hope I answered your question. I wasn't trying to chase rabbits.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I have another question. So if we vote on this, then so according to the second page, within 30 days, if it's not making any money, we can, if we want to.
Yeah, if we
terminate the agreement.
The agreement is either side can terminate with a 30-day written notice.
And then if no one calls the night before and says they need picked up and we don't go, we don't have to drive.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And that's not costing us anything for that. There's no rights. And we're not having to pay her salary for that day. They is going to pay that salary. Any other questions or comments? Ms. Lottie, roll call vote, please.
Brett Parker. 4. Bonnie Winkles. Abstain. Kara Roach. 4. Tammy Slinkert. 4. Jerry Bradley. 4. Linda Smith. 4. Jason Stewart.
4.
Hazel Riley is absent. Donnie England. 4. Cindy Wood. 4.
Mayor, I have a question. Yeah. Are you guys going to bring this back at the next council meeting? I think the concern is that this was just discussed at the Transportation Committee. It wasn't added to the agenda until today.
Right.
Then the public would have known that they had an opportunity to show up here and be heard about it or whatever the case may be. I understand.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I understand adding it to the agenda tonight. Council's approved it tonight, but kind of like you do an ordinance reading, you do it 3 times. It might be best to bring this back next council meeting, just in case there's more public input out there on it.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
I just kind of consider this an approval on for a first reading, if you will.
And I can tell you the reason why it was done like this is we didn't have the Transportation Committee meeting until last night because we had the budget meeting and to get it into the council. Mayor Keith had their council meeting last night, and so he wasn't able to be here for that. I'm not opposed to it. No big deal on us. Just giving them. And another thing was, he sent me a message and asked me about it, and I said, well, we hadn't had a meeting yet. And he said, well, we got more of a need now than ever because they're hard to. So now we really need to come here. So that was the urgency of why I was trying to get it through.
Yeah, and I will say, Mayor, I mean, this is the first time I've seen it tonight, and I did look over it, and I didn't see anything wrong with it, but, in case there is some negotiation back and forth between now and then, something needs to be changed, it might be best to just bring it back. And if you need to, accompany it with an ordinance approving meeting with an emergency clause on it, so it goes into effect immediately. I mean, whatever you need to do to get it into effect, so you start seeing us over there. But that sounds like that's the will of the council. But my point is, for purposes of just making sure that the public's had notice, and knows that us not to move this now for a fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Sounds like they need it, so they need it now, so we don't want them to find another way.
If they find another way, we'll find another way. It's not, we want to help any way we can. And that's one of the things I have learned since I've taken office and going to the NEA mayor's office. All of the mayors in Northeast Arkansas want to work together instead of against each other. And that's try to help each other. So I think it's a good deal, it's a good idea for cities to help each other. But, and I'm in 100% agreement with that. No issue whatsoever. The question is, we bring it back as an ordinance, is that what you're saying? And then with an emergency clause, if we just bring it back?
Actually, I think you could bring it back with a resolution approving it, that the council, has seen it, read it, authorized it, approves it. And you could do that at a special meeting if you needed to get it into place really quickly. It's just because, again, for purposes of the public knowing about it, the public being able to be heard on it, it just got debated last night at the transportation meeting, just got added to the council meeting tonight. I just saw it for the first time a minute ago. I don't think there's probably any problem with it, but it'd probably be best if we could give it at least one more.
Okay. I'm good with that. We'll make sure that it's on the next council meeting, on that agenda. We'll bring it up again after discussion and anything like that. So, if anybody wants to do a little research on it to find out, that's great. And we'll go with it. Any other discussion? All right, with that, I'll give the mayor's report. The fire station is still on schedule at the moment for late September, early October. I don't think there's any changes yet or anything changed, have you?
No,
Construction again in the clear water tank. We're trying to stay on top of that and push them as fast as we can get that done. Mr. Gasway, I had numerous hours researching and talking with the AML attorneys, looking at an attempt to pass an alcohol tax to help fund an aquatic center, community center, and continue to work with Parks and Recreation. What it will do is no city or county can levy a tax on alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. The only exception is that city council can pass an ordinance levying a tax on on-premises alcohol sales only, which would essentially be Jerry's and Round One, which is mainly, for the most part, from the people. I've discussed with several of our citizens and decided not to present an ordinance for that. And if a council member wants to do that, by all means, I would present it to the council and let the council decide if they want to pass a levy, a tax on premises drinking only. The city can get it on the ballot, an A&P tax. That is what is A&P? Advertising and promotion. This tax would add 3% to hotels and motels and 1% to fast food restaurants. This, by law, would have to go to Parks and Recreation and Advertising and Promotion. I will have the ordinance prepared for the next meeting to let you decide. And so, you have a month to think about it, look at it, ask your constituents. And it will have to be an emergency ordinance because we have to get it on the ballot. It has to be done within prior to 70 days to the election. So we would have to enact an emergency clause. So I'm going to bring it out now, give you a month, talk to your constituents, and see what their thoughts are, what your thoughts are, research it, whatever you want to do. So, but I will have that prepared and bring it before the next council meeting. I've been talking with RDOT and Burlington Northern Santa Fe for several months. Today, and about several different things. Today, we had a pretty long meeting, and what we were able to nail down today is Burlington Northern is going to install crash beams away from back off the railroads way. So it'll keep trucks from hitting the railroad track and possibly causing the track to get off or cause a derailment. RDOT is going to pay for that, and Burlington Northern is going to install it. So I think that's a pretty good deal. If they're going to hit that before they hit the railroad track. So, another one of the things that we've discussed, and I think I've mentioned this before, but they're really getting hot on it, is an overpass right down here by Baldwin, going over the railroad track. RDOT is wanting it. Burlington Northern wants it. It would be beneficial to us. And Burlington Northern is also looking for grants that would help pay for that, or they would pay for that. So it's not just all at one thing with all the money coming from Trumann. We can't afford it, and they know that. But what it does is it opens up the east side of town. Trucks can go over there. The compress is ideal location for a warehouse or warehouses that would allow trucks to go over there to be able to get to that side of town. So, it may help us with economic development happen. I'm not sure how they would do it. They would have engineers to come in and look at it and look at what all they would have to do and how they would have to plan it and all that stuff. Honestly, it would probably, none of us will probably be here by the time it happens. We got done. But anyway, that's some of the stuff that we've been talking about. I'm working with somebody in D.C. to possibly get funding for several projects in town, including an aquatic center and community center. Since we're not going to be able to get money through alcohol tax to help fund that, this guy is he's got a lot of connections, a lot of ties in Washington, and he believes that he can help us get some money. It's going to be up to him to decide whether he can or not. He's going to have to prove it and show us that he can get the money. But anyway, I'm talking with him, and the more I get to deal with him and visit with him, and we start talking about more of this, maybe I can come back with more information, and I will inform you every time I get some information that I can share. Of course, getting money from the government's a slow go, so it's going to take some time. Even if we did get money. I'm also found another avenue to possibly get some funding for the fire station that would assist in paying off our bond, not completely paying off. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but this is some more stuff that I've been able to dig out. So I don't just sit at the office. I promise you. I'm all day long on the phone or in meetings trying to find stuff to help the citizens of this town. We're still in talks with two companies to come to Trumann that would bring many jobs to the town. It looks like it's getting closer to happening. And that's another one of the things we dealt with Burlington Northern and RDOT is trying to get a spur put in and going into industrial park, which would need to be for these companies, one of the companies anyway. That's all I've got.